I just came out from the gym recently, so please don't mind my red face. When I was exercising, I remembered a story I could tell you or give you a reminder because um, the big festive Eid al-Adha is next door, and it could be such a good message and a good reminder to tell you that you can use the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam as an equivalent to avoid toxic people in your life, and I tell you how. As we know, Ibrahim alayhi salam was an old man. I guess he was over 100 years old, and his biggest dream was to have a child, to have a son. And for a long time, Allah didn't give him this blessing, his and his wife, until one day they got a son. It was don't remember right now because I'm finished. Finished. I will come to the name later. So he loved his son so much, and as you can tell, he um he had to victimize his son due to Eid al-Adha because Allah instructed him to victimize a lamb or cow or anything, but he had nothing. And this was a test. Allah wanted to test him if he is able to give away his son fi sabilillah, just for Allah's obedience, also to obey Allah only. And it's totally human to understand that it hurt him so much and he was struggling and he had anxiety and all these things because this was his dream and he is his only son, and he has to give him away. He had to give him away. But I guess the strength that Ibrahim alayhi salam got was that he knew that he would get something in Ibrahim alayhi salam. He knew Ibrahim alayhi salam. He knew that he would get something in return if he would give away his only beloved son. So now the question is, as we know, he victimized his son, he gave him away, and the knife was sharp more than it could be sharp, okay? And yeah, he tried to cut his neck, but it didn't work. So Allah tested him with a catastrophe, and at the end, he got blessed because he trusts Allah in this process. So how can we use that as an equivalent to stand tall for yourself, trust Allah, and get so many things back in return? And I remember my story when I had to ban someone so important in my life. I'm such a family woman, and sometimes we have relationships especially in the family where we feel that we are dependent on them. But it happens that some relationships, even in the family, are so toxic and hurtful that you have to work to understand where the balance is. And we can talk about a manipulation, we can talk about um, all these things, the bonding for the obligation to have a bonding to the family. I know all these things, but you also have the right to step back from things that hurt you, because Allah gave you the blessing of this life. Allah gave you the blessing of the soul that you have inside you. And you have to learn that you need boundaries. And boundaries can only be set if you are strong enough to go through the process of hurt. This deep burn inside your chest that you don't know what will happen later, but in this moment, even if it hurts so much and I don't know what comes next, I know this step will bring me to a better life, bring me to a better me. You understand? So that's why I see the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son as an equivalent to do hurtful things, to set boundaries or do steps in your life that hurt you and set you out of the comfort zone just to improve your life. It has to happen a catastrophe. And this is, I can tell from my own experience, 2 years I was suffering so much. I didn't know what to do in my life because I did this step. I prayed to Allah. I made Salat al-Istikhara because I didn't know if it was the right step or not. But in this era of my life, I was so unhappy. I was mentally sick. I don't know. I didn't know who I was anymore because I was so dependent. I was just delivering and delivering, and I didn't know what I could do for myself. I wanted to change my life, but everyone else around me wanted me to stay um in the same era. They didn't want me to change because they knew how I was, and they wanted me to stay like that. But I didn't want it to be like that anymore. I wanted to be someone else. I wanted to be more conscious. I wanted to fulfill things in my life that are truly good to me, and everything with the aspect that you have to act with your family with respect. Okay, so I started to step, and I knew I would destroy so many things now, but now I have to stand for myself. I have to. And um, I guess 2 years later, everything changed. I had to have the endurance to stand tall and to prove that I'm right what I'm doing and I'm a human being, a human being um, where Allah gave me the right to decide. I have the responsibility about my life. I have the responsibility of my decisions, and I have to take the step forward, not someone else. Yes, and I did that in trust of in trust with trust of with I did that with trust in Allah because I asked Him, and He gave me the signs what to do. And I recommend you to do that too, because sometimes you have these fast decisions and maybe these can lead to disappointments or regrets. So that's why you have to do these steps with the help of Allah. You have to ask Him first. If you are in a current situation where you are suffering a lot, then you have to ask Allah first. Stand up at night, pray Qiyam al-Layl, for example, or do plus sunnah rak'ahs, or I don't know. Do a lot of dua and ask Allah for hidayah. Ask Allah to guide you away, a good way, and He will show you a way where Allah knows, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, this is a part of your qadr. We say maktub, but it's the same. It's a part of your qadr, so you can leave the things on Him, but you have your eyes open so you can see the signs of Him, what to do and what not to do. You feel me? That's why you have to trust Allah in these hard situations, and you have to embrace the braveness. So you have to embrace to be brave enough to stand up for yourself, because there will be a time where you have to change. You can't stay on the same level. It's not possible. And if you do that, I promise you, you will be living an unhappy life. You will live unhappy. Because then you will always fulfill the things of others. And then imagine you are 40 or 50 years old, and then you will regret everything. Oh my God, I didn't do these things or that things, even though they are permissible in Islam, for example. It's all about balance. I'm not talking about things that are not allowed, okay? I'm talking about things that have balance and have um sometimes there can be problems because of different meanings, but normally it has to be okay to have different meanings and to get a compromise. But most of the people don't want to compromise. They want to stand in front, also they want to stand to their meaning or to their opinion, and will want to leave you there at the corner. So you have to stand tall, okay? You have to be brave, and you have to ask yourself, is this really what I want? Can I do for 100% for it? And if you ask Allah, then He will answer you. He will answer you, and then if He answers you and gives you the signs, you have to put trust in Allah that everything will work out. And yes, for a long time we didn't talk. I couldn't see some family members because they tried to cut me out. They were ghosting me and something. Then I got really sick, and I was always by myself. I was suffering so much. And then there was one day where we met again and we talked about everything, and I earned my respect. I earned my respect, and we have such a good relationship right now. I love this person, this family person so much, and I will do everything for her because Allah gave me the obligation to respect my family members, and I know that, and I never disrespected them, but I had to set boundaries because I lost my mind, I lost my personality, I lost everything that was a part of me because of them, and they didn't realize it. Even now, when I'm talking to them right now about this topic, they would say, I don't know what you're talking about. So I have to conquer myself with these topics. And the last thing what I wanted to say is, you can't change the people. Allah said in the Quran, if you want a change in your situation, you have to change yourself first. So if you realize, okay, this one and this one is hurting me. I'm not trying to change them. I'm learning some coping skills. I learn how to stay neutral. I learn to build my own wall. I learn to improve um, relaxing skills. You know, I look how I can get some free time for myself. Don't so I don't get drowned in all these problems. You know, you have to do these things first, and always remember. Also, you always face the facts. You know, it's not all everything about you. It's about them, and also the problems are about them and not you. So you have to focus so much on yourself to improve, so that Allah can give you the signs to get out of the situation in the best way that Allah has provided for you. Yes. This was my reminder for Eid, and I wanted to say Eidkum Mubarak, and I hope you have a blessed day with your family, full of joy and blessings. And hopefully, we will see us next time. And I don't know what the topic will be, but stay tuned.